So sports injuries, what causes sports injuries? Why does it happen so often? Can we do something to avoid it? What is the best way to treat a sports injury? So there are a ton of questions that we all have, and some of us have specific questions to a certain body part that keeps getting injured. So today we have with us Dr. Syed Khalil, who is a orthopedic physical therapist. He works with Regan Orthosport. Regan Orthosport is the leader at stem cell therapy in India. Stem cell therapy, we will learn a bit more about stem cell therapy from the expert himself. So welcome, Dr. Syed. How have you been? How's it going?
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Danish. Thanks for hosting this session. Yeah, we're all doing good, fighting Corona, the pandemic, shaking the world. So everybody likes the world's getting along.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, if you can tell us a bit about yourself, what exactly orthopedic physical therapist means, and then we will get into injuries in specific.
So basically, I'm an orthopedic physical therapist. Okay, that means I'm a expert in rehabilitation. That too, my specialty is orthopedics. Like doctors have different specialties, right? Like orthopedics, neurologists, cardiologists, like different varieties, different specialties. Similarly, in rehabilitation also, we have different specialties. So I specialize in orthopedics, musculoskeletal injuries, and manual therapy and sports injuries. So that's my specialty and my, let's say, my world basically.
Awesome, awesome. That's great. So, very basic, very generic questions. Why do injuries happen?
It's like a vague question, Danish. So injury happen because of n number of reasons. So basically, it can be categorized into two. See, internal factors and external factors. So coming to the internal factors, which are bodily or physical factors. So if someone has any problem with muscle tightness, weakness, or any neurological problem, it can lead to a injury.
Right.
So specifically being in sports, so sports injuries are very common because of one's own limitations. So that can be decreased conditioning, that can be one. So if
Right.
someone's not conditioned properly, that can be one. And again, in terms of flexibility or tightness, because if someone is not flexible, if some structures are tight, then we are unable to maintain the normalcy of the body well functioning. That leads to deficit and again injury while sports or like say any other performance activities. And when coming to the external factors, then that can be categorized as like the surfaces on which we play. Okay, like say for a runner or like a person who runs on a track, he cannot do the same on a grass or another turf field. So in case if the equipment wise, if the shoes or the turfs like mismatch, it can lead to injury. And other factors such as climate, the temperature, humidity, there are like various other reasons. So these all come under external sources. And if the bodily changes or bodily factors, those are under internal factors.
Perfect. Perfect.
That's a brief.
Right. So it's up to you to. I mean, so what are the most common injuries that come to you? Right. Being a doctor, I'm sure you keep getting these every day. What is the most common or one of the top three injuries that come to you?
Like in terms of those, I can categorize that as one knee injuries.
Oh,
Its own complex of injuries in that, followed by shoulder and spine.
fine. Okay, that's. Uh,
One more thing, Danish. So the most important is like say most of us incur lower body injuries, or like say hip, knee, or ankle injuries, which are like say predominant in our practice and in clinical scenario.
right. Right.
Knee being the dominant of it, knee
Okay.
injury.
And so these are sometimes these are career-ending injuries, right? But what do you think? How easy or how possible is it to come back from an injury? Do you think there is a good chance to come back to the same level?
Yes, in most of the cases, yes, we can come back to the same level and sometimes even better.
Okay.
Because, because things which we can correct structurally, so that can be corrected and we can enhance the performance of the player or an athlete to a higher level with proper training and everything.
Okay.
So yes,
So it's not just coming back to my level, but you can make me better, is what you're
yeah.
saying. Okay.
And most importantly, we have to again be very specific. It depends on the injury type. So if it's like a very devastating injury, then we cannot promise that. But yes, if we can treat it, yes, we can get you to a better position than before. Yes.
Right. Okay. Now, injuries cause pain, right? But there is also soreness that causes after a workout, after playing a intense game. So, what's the difference between pain caused by injury and soreness in muscles? Are they the same thing? Are they like a symptom to an injury?
It can be a predisposing factor. Like soreness can be a predisposing factor.
Okay.
Example, just assume a person or an individual who started an activity suddenly. Like if someone just decides to just hit the like say hit the gym, want to just pump. So for a day or two or more, they will have soreness. So
Okay.
that is also painful, but that eases off with hydration or with rest.
Okay.
Whereas pain because of injury will aggravate or so that's the basic difference. Soreness is after the activity, but pain is also like say felt or perceived during the activity.
Okay. Okay.
And proper activity and like say just try to rest or find other modes to treat ourselves.
Okay. And what would be the best ways to avoid injuries?
Again, multiple factors, Danish. So it can be multiple. So first, your training. So first, train your body accordingly. So take care of all the factors which influence your training and performance.
Got it.
Like in terms of your conditioning, in terms of your diet and nutrition, in terms of your surroundings, you have to be very specific, very precise, very meticulous to take care of everything. Then, like say, end up playing it.
Got it. Got it. Yeah. Uh, you touched upon nutrition there. How important is nutrition when it comes to taking care of your injuries or not getting injured?
Very, very important. If someone's, like say, depends on the which type of sports are you playing. So if someone, like say, is into football, then they have to again have a leaner body mass, have to be hydrated because their endurance levels have to be higher when compared to other people.
Definitely.
And again, they have to be on low carb, high protein diet. So yes, nutrition is very, very important, which a nutritionist can take, like because they are the subject experts, they can help us out. But
Okay.
it's very, very important to be like it's in terms of medical team, Danish. So it consists of a physician, a sports medicine expert, a physio, a nutritionist, a coach, and many other people. So like it's a multidisciplinary activity, not just nutrition, not just coach, not just physio, not just doctor. So collectively, yes, we can enhance the performance of an athlete and get them better. So
Right.
every part is important.
Right. That's so it's a team that gets you back on the field, right? Now, since you're the expert at getting us back onto the field, what are the, I mean, in general, what are the different types of treatments that are available? I mean, even if you can touch upon like Ayurvedic and homeopathic to stem cell therapy to surgical, right? So there are multiple. So can you just touch upon a bit and then also give your opinion on what you deem is better?
Perfect. So basically, we categorize the management of injury, like specifically sports injury, into two. One
Okay.
is conservative management, where nothing has, like, so nothing, like, say, invasive has to be done. So,
Okay.
conservative, like, so you might be very familiar with the term called RICE, RICE, which is like a rest, icing, compression, elevation. So,
Right.
for any, say, ankle or knee sprains or shoulder sprains, we recommend that because it's like, say, nothing, like, say, devastating or harmful has happened where we can try to contain it. So, that's like called conservative management.
Got
So,
it.
everything from, say, resting, like say icing, like hot packs, cold packs, your pain pills, anti-inflammatory medication, where we don't touch the body or say invade anything, excluding the needles. So those all come under conservative management.
Okay.
So when coming to non-conservative, then again medical management, it's again invasive and non-invasive.
Okay.
So non-invasive again, you're again like ultrasonic therapies.
Hmm.
Most of us are familiar with like say like say IFTs, interferential therapies, ultrasonic therapies, TENS, all the pain relieving modalities.
Got it.
When coming to medical treatment, yes, again it has various other things. So those include surgeries, replacements, suturings, and other things. So like basically conservative and non-conservative management.
Okay. So let's touch upon. So the conservative is up to us, right? I mean, we can really control getting back onto the field. So the non-conservative, many people are scared of an invasive procedure, right? So how do I get by the fear, and is there an alternative?
First, again, depends on the severity of the injury. So
Okay.
most of the injuries can, like, so mainly in sports, if it's a soft tissue injury, yes, that can be treated with minimal invasive procedures and invasive procedures.
Okay.
So, for example, if it's a meniscal injury, which is in the knee, which is a cushion supporting the knee joint. So the orthopedic side management will be either to suture it or to repair it. So
Okay.
that comes under, like, say, invasive procedures. But again, coming to minimal invasive procedures, yes, there is the role of stem cells and platelet procedures, which is basically called regenerative medicine.
Okay. So can you explain stem cell therapy about, because it seems like, I mean, it seems though we've heard it a lot, it's not very well understood. So can you like dumb it down for us, explain stem cell therapy to us, and why it is useful, or why it is a better option than other things?
Sure. See, stem cell therapy is natural therapy of treating a body. Just assume if we acquire a simple cut on a hand while doing something. So we don't do anything to again repair that. So body automatically heals it within a week or two.
Correct. Yes.
That basic healing happens because of stem cells. So
Mm.
stem cells are nothing but a specialized cell which can differentiate or say transform itself into any other cell at that point to heal or repair that part. So
Got it.
the skin again comes back to normal. The other part, like this, after the scar happens, the healing occurs. So those cells which are required to heal that part are stem cells. So
Got it.
what we do at regenerative medicine, region of the sport is we take bone marrow aspirate, we collect bone marrow, which is the mixture of all the blood cells which the body needs. So we take it from the bone marrow production site,
Okay.
and from that bone marrow mixture, we separate or concentrated stem cells.
Okay.
That stem cell concentrate or bone marrow aspiration concentrate will be again transferred or, like, say, transplanted to injection to that specific site very precisely under live X-ray and ultrasonographic imaging.
Okay. Uh, but when you said transplanting, I've also heard of the body rejecting it. Will our body reject this transplant, the stem cells?
See, rejection occurs if we are taking the stem cells or other cells from someone else.
Got it.
So
Yeah.
we do autologous cells. That is like say one's own body. So
Got
if
it.
I get injured, my own stem cells will be harvested through a procedure called bone marrow aspiration, and from that cells they try to separate stem cells and again transplant it to the injury site. So it's all our cells. So no rejection or no, let's say, cross infection or any other side effects from this thing.
Got it. Got it. So is it safe for everyone though? I mean, is it certain age or a certain type of person shouldn't be going for this surgery or this therapy?
See, most of them, like say 90 to 95% people are eligible or
Got it.
say are suitable for the procedures.
Got it.
But few people who are not suitable are, like, say, if the damage is too high, or like say if the damage is very severe where the role of stem cells cannot be helpful in that case.
Understood. Okay.
One. Next can be any bone marrow defects because in case a person is unable to produce bone marrow cells,
Right.
so they cannot produce even stem cells. Like people with, like say, bone marrow leukemia, which is like say, sort of a blood cancer, or bone marrow defects, which is a inborn or congenital deformity. So
Got it.
those people are not eligible. Apart from that, yes, most of them are suitable. And now coming to the age, yes, in that also we treat age group of adolescents. They assume anywhere from say 15, 16 years to like say a 90 or 100-year-old man, which we have already done.
Wow, that's
Age
amazing.
is not a factor. It's only like the severity of the damage and suitability of the condition.
Got it. Got it. Coming back to injuries, injuries tend to repeat themselves, right? What is the underlying condition, or basically the underlying condition to avoid repeated injuries, or why do they even happen, and what can I do?
See, repetitive injuries can again happen because of n number of reasons. So we have to be very specific. We have to get to the root level of that specific condition or problem, where we have to evaluate every point meticulously to understand what is the missing link which is causing the injury. So exactly most of the let's say ankle problems, those are very repeated and very let's say bothering for most of us.
Hmm.
Assume a runner, assume a footballer. So ankle injuries are very very predominantly seen in them.
Got
So
it.
if someone's like say having muscle imbalance or muscle tightness or say some problem with say muscle control, which is a part of again neuromuscular control. So if
Mhm.
the nervous system is not in accordance to the muscular system, that
Got it.
leads to some sort of say imbalance issues leading to repetitive injuries.
Got it.
And those things most commonly seen is ligament sprain.
Got it. Got it.
In
Okay.
the healing of that part takes a longer time. And if someone's like say is again back into sports before the complete healing occurs, they are again predominantly furthermore prone to repetitive injury. So again, we have to evaluate every factor starting from the point of injury to again getting back onto the field.
Got it.
And we have to be very specific in training. So again, here the role of team comes in.
Understood.
The coach, the trainer, the strength and conditioning, like the physio, the doctor, everyone has to be on the same page to get that athlete to a better performing level.
Got it. Got it. So the people who are on the call, you can unmute yourself and ask Dr. Khalil a few questions. We will take a couple of questions. If you have any, you can shoot your questions. I have a few more. I've kept that for the end.
Sure.
Does anyone have any questions at the moment? We saw a few people asking us that they have a shoulder impingement injury. Badminton is a big sport in India these days, right? And that's, I think, a very common injury. So we've got a few questions regarding that.
Sure.
Uh, does anyone want to ask any questions? Otherwise, I will move on to my questions. Okay, I will continue.
So,
Uh, are there any side effects to stem cell therapy? You already told me that my body doesn't reject it, so it might be a repetitive or dumb question that but are there any side effects and is it painful?
see, coming to the first point of side effects, no, it doesn't have any side effects because side effects happen if something external to the body enters. Like if simple allergy, so any like say dust particle which enters, it causes a side effect of excessive sneezing or anything. So that's a antigen antibody reaction where something unwanted or outside of the body enters the body and our immune system tends to fight that. But here it's our own blood cells, so no side effects absolutely. And
Okay.
coming to the second part, Danish, what was the question?
Is it painful?
Yes, see, aspiration is painful because it is, though it is needle based, yes,
Mhm.
it is like say, similar to the needle or shots what we take on our like say bumps or like say hands during a normal intramuscular injection. That is painful, just a little pain. So it depends on your own threshold. If you're
Okay.
strong mentally, physically, yes, you can just pass by that.
Okay. Okay.
So nothing to worry more of pain.
Okay. So I'm just picking out some of the questions. So someone called Supraj asks us, recently I've gone through a knee surgery because of playing badminton and my knee got twisted.
Mhm.
So currently I'm taking rest and normal physiotherapy. I want to know what are the things I need to take care when I get back to playing and how do I maintain fitness?
So that depends what sort of injury had happened
Okay.
and what was done. So we don't know what procedure was done in that case. Again,
Right.
continue your rehab, be in touch with your rehab expert and your doctor,
Mhm.
listen to them, and again, train properly. When let's say hit the field, you have to be also explaining your coach or the trainer that you have incurred this sort of injury and you need to be very specific. So you can use any protective, like say, equipment such as your knee pads or knee braces to avoid unnecessary stress on the knee joint. And again, if you have any signs of inflammation such as swelling, redness, warmth, yes, you can go with some icing,
Got it. Got it.
provided you are in touch with your, like say, medical expert.
You mentioned knee braces. I've seen a lot of people, even after they've healed completely, they still wear knee braces and play. Is that advisable?
In few conditions, yes,
Okay.
because that provides some extra support, which we like say lack during the training or after training. So yes, in some conditions it's needed, but few of them just do it because it's more comfortable.
Got it. All right. We have Ramkrishnan who's on the call also.
Mhm.
He had asked a question that he's had some shoulder pain by his joint. Can you unmute yourself and ask the question, Ramakrishna, if you don't mind?
Yeah, I have a shoulder pain like before 2-3 months before I have a badminton continue playing. After that, suddenly I had a shoulder pain. After that, I stopped playing also, but still last week I went for play. Like again, started so much pain. I cannot raise the hand actually.
Okay, Ramakrishna, like how did the injury happen? Like say, did you just like say over stressed yourself, or you had
No,
actual?
it is not. I regularly play, but simultaneously, slowly it came like inside the shoulder, like exactly joining hands only. There it is a muscle pain only started. After slowly it started increasing. After I stopped entirely stopped 3-4 months I did not play it. After I suddenly went one day I warm up it. I just started playing. Warm up also I done. Warm up time only I got pain. I thought
Okay,
it's normal only. After again starting playing 5 minutes I played. After that I got lot of pain. I
okay,
stopped playing. I doing nothing now. Like
perfect.
I don't know what I have to do now. Corona situation. I cannot go hospital also now.
Got it, got it. See, the
Yeah.
problem is I think you might have injured quite a, like say, one of the few structures which support shoulder. It can be either a muscle tear, which like say, which is very important to like say just hit a shot, just lift a cock or do things. It can either be a injury related to your muscle, a tendon, or labrum. So we need to be very, very specific in evaluation also. So it's better you consult your medical expert or else get us MRI to just like say screen your shoulder, like what
Okay.
sort of injury it is and what is the severity of that.
Mhm.
Only then we can see what can be done for that. Because like say unless and until we examine you, we cannot be like say able to diagnose what the problem is. Shoulder is
Okay.
like a very complex thing. So we need to be very, very meticulous in evaluation and further treatment. So I advise you to consult your local orthopedicians if they are available, or else at
Okay.
least get an MRI of that shoulder so that
Mm.
we'll be able to see that on a scan to
Mm.
review that. So till then, be very careful, not overstraining your shoulder because you told you are unable to lift your hand. So that
Yeah.
can,
Yeah.
uh, like say any thing related to your labrum or a muscle tendon. So you need to be a little
Okay.
more
Okay.
careful, Ramakrishna. Don't overstress as of now, but
Okay. Okay.
get a medical expert review as, like say, at the earliest.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah.
We have Anusha who wants to ask us a question. Anusha, please go ahead. Anusha, are you there? Okay, we have Anant who wants to ask us a question. Anant, you can go ahead, please.
Yeah. Hi, Khalid. I play football and I had a high ankle sprain 6 months back. Ankle syndesmosis, I think they call it. But it's been 6 months and still I feel a pinch or a stretch when I do a warm up or run hard. So, should I go to consult someone or will it take, it will heal automatically? I just wanted to know. Thank you.
Got it, Anand. See, in case if the pain or symptoms are going down with time. So in case in one or like say few following weeks, if the symptoms are going down, it's okay. It's like the healing process which is going on, which might take quite a few months. But if it's no, imagine if you're doing your warm up, doing your normal activity, and if the symptoms are aggravating or increasing, then yes, you need to consult your like say doctor, whomever treated, and again get it evaluated. Because sometimes it can be a simple thing called scarring of the tissue. So once any medical procedure or any injury happens, body tries to heal. Right in that, like say scenario also, we might be having a post-operation or say post-procedure effects. So just wear a protective anklet or an ankle brace next time during your practice or your warm up. See how it feels, and if you're feeling comfortable, then yeah, that should be okay. But no, if the symptoms are aggravating, yes, better you consult your doctor for further evaluation and management.
Perfect.
Thanks, Khalid.
Yeah. So now I'm coming back to the expert you're at, I'm going to poke you a bit more there. So, any invasive procedure or non-invasive procedure has a recovery period. What's the recovery period of stem cell therapy?
Being a minimal invasive procedure, we don't cut open. We just insert a needle into the injury site, transplant stem cells and platelets. So the recovery time is drastically downtime. So we can expect the person back onto the field as less as 2 months. So recovery period can be varying from condition to condition, injury to injury. So an average of 2 to 6 months should be a good time.
Got it.
The person can hit the field back and start training or even playing.
Okay. And is it a one-time procedure, or do I have to keep coming back and keep getting this procedure done?
We have two modes of treatment, Dani. That's one is stem cell therapy, which is mostly a one-time treatment, because that those stem cells are capable of regenerating and repair the damaged tissue. So unless and until you have a very bad incident or a trauma onto that supposed stress structure, it's one time. But there's something called conditioning. So how we maintain our cars or vehicles or homes. So we need maintenance for most of them. So PRPs can be done once in a while, say once or twice in a year. But stem cells are mainly one-time treatment.
Okay. Anusha is trying to ask a question. There's some technical difficulties. We're just trying to get her to post a question here. Anusha, if you can type your question in. So she has muscle tightness when she runs or jogs. What could that be a symptom of? Is that the symptom of an injury or less oxygen?
It can be basically something related to our muscle tightness, which we call muscle length imbalance. So if the muscles are too tight and we try to do activities such as jogging, trekking, running, or even brisk walk, because of the inadequate length, the muscles get tired early, and that causes stress at different points. Anusha might be feeling say sore or soreness or the painful part in the girth of that calf, and that further might lead to something related to heel related injuries. Anusha, you need to be very careful. So you need to start your flexibility training, release techniques, and again maintain your hydration proper. So sometimes even your nutrition may be deficit in terms of your salt and hydration might again further lead to your shin pains or calf injuries also.
Got it. What's the ratio in terms of bone injuries to muscle-based injuries or ligament-based injuries that you see?
In that case, it's say if you categorize structures, so it's say muscle, bone, tendon, and ligaments. So mostly we see ligaments, which is very common. You might be very familiar with injuries such as TFL, which is in the ankle, anterior tibial, which is the anterior cruciate ligament, which is in the knee. So these are very common. So ligament followed by say muscle, bone. So that should be the in terms of ratio that can be the frequency of injuries.
Got it. Now my last question. After a stem cell therapy, can I be injury free?
Very tricky one. See, if you treat and if you get back to that higher performance levels, yes, we can. And we have taken few athletes of that kind.
Okay. That's amazing. And how can we get in touch with Regan Orthosport, doctor?
Our clinic is in Jubilee Hills, so you can visit our clinic, informing with prior consultation because of the current situation. Because the doctors will be available, but the procedures are done only when our doctors are available in Hyderabad.
Got it.
So you have a number, you have a website. You can please visit the website, call us between normal and during the normal times. Yes, we are really helpful to do that. So our team is always on foot to take those times.
Great. That's great, sir. Thank you so much. This has been a very fruitful session. A lot of insights and a lot of learnings. Thank you so much, Dr. Khalil. It was great having you. Thank you, everyone, for joining us too. Have a good day. Thank you.
Take care, Daniel. Take care, everyone. Stay safe.
Thank you. Bye.